So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put some beams in that's going to come across the entire piece. So we want to start to inject some horizontal structure into this. So let's go to, like, say level, let's go ahead and make level 3 happen. So I'm going to add that. Go to level 3, and we want to, it appears that these guys didn't get kind of extruded up. So we got to go in and change that. Okay, and go to level 3. Now they're there. And we're going to add a beam. So we go to structure and we go to beams, and again we'll have to see what shapes there are, and there's not a lot. So we're going to load family, and we're going to go down to structural framing, and we'll look for concrete, and I'll just do a kind of normal grade beam, and we'll go from, say, there to there. It says none of the created elements are visible in the floor plan level 3 view. You may want to check the active view, its parameters, visibility, etc. Okay, so let's take a look at where we might see that. It might be, probably be on this, well, let's see what's here. Alright, let's go ahead and make this reflected ceiling plan that's level 3 and see if there's anything there. Alright, so if you go to the ceiling plans, level 2, what you're going to do is hit VV so we can get the visibility graphics up, and you're going to go down to structure, and you'll see that structure framing is not clicked. So if you apply that, that'll only apply it to this view, but you'll suddenly get to see, and then we'll need to have those showing so that we can modify them according to what we want to kind of create here. So on level, on the 3D view, you can see that the structure itself is kind of flush with the floor plate, so you can just change those things by, maybe if that's a 12-inch slab, you can just go -1, and realize that if you do one and don't do the other, it's going to have moved down to -1 here, but it's actually rising up to 0, 0. So you can slope a beam that way. It's a good way to slope it. But typically you're not going to want that, so there we go. And so now that beam should be kind of in place. Cool. Let's take a look at it. 16 by 32. We can decide kind of what shape. And you see that there's various parameters for that right in here, where you can duplicate those and say rename them. So if we want, say, a 24 by 36 inch beam, we can just go in and then change these accordingly. So well, I don't know why you'd want a 24, but okay, by 3 feet, 24 by 36. And so now we have 3 different types that we can use. So if I select that, you'll see that this thing kind of grew according to those parameters. Again, I don't want that. I'm going to go back to the 16 by 32. Alright, so let's populate the world with them. So let's go back to ceiling plan level 2, and we'll just add that. I'm just holding down the control key. Oh, we might, let's try that again. There. Yeah, let's go ahead and lock it. Do it again. Lock that one. We'll do it again. Lock that one. Maybe you'd want another beam going in this direction. Not really sure. Probably. For now we'll leave it off, but you can add it if you'd like. Let's take a look. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Now, if you want these things that occur on all levels, let's go ahead and grab them. And you're going to copy them, Control C, and then you're going to go to a different level, and you're going to do paste, and you're going to go align to selected levels. It's a really easy way to do it. I think those are already on 3, so we may want to actually on 2. Okay, so once that gets done, we'll see what is in the 3D view. Alright, so I have a couple of, it gave me the error that I have a couple duplicate forms. So I gotta go in, and it looks like this is where I had my duplicates. And I'm gonna need to put them on level 3. Apparently also on this level here. Weird. But anyway, you can start to see what... Alright, I grabbed a ton of stuff that I shouldn't have. Okay. So now we're back to normal. I've got a pretty good situation. There are places that I, gonna have to go in and hand select because I don't want the structure in all the places that it put it. But you can see that using that paste feature is actually really nice. It allows you to just array these things pretty simply. Alright, that's it.